Happy New Year, everybody. We are live and direct.
Happy New Year, everybody.
Yes. Oh my goodness. It feels so good and awesome to be back. Shout out. I am with Ethan right now. This is our first day back to the podcast, but we are going to have some different things going on, right?
Yes.
So this page, not the whole page, but this podcast is going to be KSPN, right?
Yes.
So we have you, we have,
Xavier.
and some fourth graders, maybe, right?
Yes.
So, Ethan, Happy New Year, man.
Happy New Year to you too, Lucy.
Oh my goodness, you're like in the sixth grade now.
Yeah.
A new year. We haven't even scraped the surface of like last year and stuff, right?
Yeah.
So, did you have a good Christmas break and all that?
Yeah.
Awesome. And so I can't wait to have you guys collaborate on the channel on KSPN, Kelso Sports Network. I think it's going to be really awesome. I think you guys are going to have some good debates about some sports and just, you know, catch up and talk about some things that are going on in life, in the world. There's a lot of crazy things going on right now, Ethan.
Yeah.
So, is there anything on your mind that you feel like you want to talk about right now?
Well, we can always talk about the fire that just happened.
Fires that are happening, right?
Yeah.
Is it so? What are your thoughts on the fires?
Well, I feel like why would they let fire spread all around? Now they have more work to do.
I know, but I think also the wind plays a big part in that too, because I don't think they expected the wind to be that fast.
Yeah.
Like that first day, the wind was windy. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So, my bad. My apologies. That's my alarm. Um, but yeah, after that first bit, and our hearts go out to all of the people affected by the fire. Like, it's really devastating the damage that all the fires has done. A lot of people are homeless right now. A lot of people, some people have passed away. A lot of people are unhoused. The animals, it's just really devastating, right?
Yeah.
So our thoughts and our prayers go out to all of the victims of this horrendous natural disaster slash arson. I don't know if people set it on fire or if well, there had to be something that's set on fire because in the woods and all of that, there's no like power lines over there. So somebody probably had to um,
Start to.
start the fire. Yeah. But our hearts go out to those families. If you can donate anything, please donate to all the causes, all the organizations that are helping those victims. Um, it's a lot of people, y'all. That is a lot of people. And so some of the fires are still burning. Some of them have been contained a little bit. I know one of them maybe is like 97% contained. But shout out also to all the countries that have been coming to our aid. You got Mexico, you got Canada. Like a lot of people like have been really coming to help us, which is good, right?
Yeah.
So that's amazing. But I'm just like, I even packed my bag. Shout out to Xavier cheering us on. Um, but yeah, it's very devastating. I never in a million years would fathom that this type of disaster would really happen to LA or just the residents in LA. And I think it's a new fire in Ventura too. So like I know that my family has a evacuation plan and stuff like that, and I have a bag packed just in case. You know what I mean? Because you never know. And sometimes these fires have been starting like in other areas, or people have been starting them in other areas too, you know?
Yeah, I've been packing my bags as well.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm telling you, I don't play that. I'm out of there. And then you know what was so crazy is somebody was sending text that said, remember that text on Friday, or were you there when they sent the
Yeah.
evacuation text to everybody's phone? And then it was like, oh, never mind, that wasn't y'all. Like, what? And then I think like the fire chief tried to say it was AI, and I'm just like, ain't no way that AI should have control of that button. I thought it was like a person that was like sending the mass text messages to like everybody.
Yeah.
But he said it was AI, so I don't know about all that. But did you want to like? I don't really think we should look at footage of it, or what do you want to do?
Well, I also want to talk about the election.
The election. Wait, I'm like, is there any a sad button over here?
Mm.
Nope, that is not sad at all. Well, I don't even think I have a sad button on here. Yeah, no, I don't. But the election, huh?
Maybe this one.
Yeah, try. No, that's laughter.
Oh.
Yeah, friendships. Let's try social shake. Nope. Nope. Yeah. Nah, then that definitely not. So let's talk about the election, Xavier. Oh man, what are your thoughts on the election?
Well, there's a lot of people who voted for random stuff, which, in my opinion, could have went to Kamala Harris.
This is true, Ethan. This is true. When I tell you I am heartbroken, um, I was heartbroken, of course, but I think because we followed the debates, we like really had discussions as a class, you know, and we saw who picked whose side, and we really broke down what they were really standing up for and standing against, which is like really diabolical on Trump's part. But at the same time, I think it's just really crazy what happens. But I'm actually like, at least this is the only last, well, hopefully, this is the only 4 years he gets, and then he's done. But I think the world was shocked. Like, I don't think people really thought he was going to win. Like, I think people thought he was going to win, but it was like, nah, Kamala's going to win, you know?
Yeah.
And a lot of states turned, but I don't know. I have a lot of mixed feelings about that. But at the same time, I'm very hopeful for the future of America, for Kamala. Hopefully, she runs again after um, Trump is done, because I just really do feel like we need new leadership and like a new wave of thinking and politics and stuff like that, you know?
Yeah.
Because you know what it seemed like, though, Ethan? It seemed like people with all the money control the politics.
It's true.
Like billionaires are like buying people's votes, like Elon Musk and stuff like that. And it's just like, you don't have nothing to do with the government. You're just a billionaire, you know?
Yeah.
But you, as a future president of America, Ethan, I really, really, really hope and pray, and I know you will because you're a good person. But don't let anybody buy you. Okay, the politics. A lot of these politicians, they get paid by the billionaires, and then they change up stuff with the laws. You know.
Yeah.
So when you are the future president, and y'all look, Ethan. I mean, he does everything. Okay, he's a great student, just amazing. I always say that he's going to be the president one day because he's always exemplified leadership in the classroom, period. But hopefully the world will be better when you become president, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So What was your biggest takeaway from the election?
Well, I feel like Donald Trump mostly wins when women are going against him.
Right? Isn't that crazy? You know what? I hadn't thought of it like that.
Because I feel like people,
They not ready for a woman president.
they don't trust or ready mentally
Yeah.
for a woman to be president.
And I don't know why that is. Mind you, statistically, women have been smarter than men. There are more women enrolled in college, more women enrolled in high school, more women, more girls enrolled in middle school, and everything. Like generally, we are smarter, you know.
Yeah.
So I wonder why that is, Ethan. What do you think?
Well, I feel like since George Washington was president,
Mm-hmm.
everyone assumed that men were most likely to be better at ruling people
Mm-hmm.
as president and making better decisions. But as time passed by, people, um, what word am I looking for? Like
People
they,
start to see like women can lead too and stuff.
yeah, but I mean like people as presidents, they overuse the power that they have.
Yeah, that's the patriarchy. I think that's the word. Where it's just like all men centered, men based, you know?
Yeah.
And then I don't like it because I feel like they make women and minorities feel like we're not smart enough, we're not capable to do the job, and we are, you know?
Yeah.
And it's like, man, we've never had a woman president. We just had our first black president. But like for me, I see in America where like we can have an Asian American president, we can have a Mexican American president, we can have a like our our country is so diverse, but our presidents do not reflect that, right?
Yeah.
So it's just crazy to me how like a lot of it stems from racism and institutionalized racism, of course, where people think that they have to keep this whiteness or like tradition of white male type of thing
Yeah.
going, which is like very sad because like so many cultures have so many different things to offer, you know?
Yeah. And also going back to the fire, how Mexico and Canada helped us with the fire,
Right.
and only for Donald Trump to come back to the office and
Hmm.
say, "Oh, we don't need you here. Just go back."
This is crazy. And it's just like, who denies people help? Like, you did all of that talking about how you were going to build a wall, how they're this and they're that. And Mexico still, actually, even Canada, he was trying to act like he wanted to take over Canada, which is wild.
Yeah.
And Canada, mind you, Canada was really funny. The president in Canada was like, they asked California if we want to be a part of Canada. Could you see California being a part of Canada though?
Well, that's a very interesting
Yeah.
talk to have.
I think low key, high key, I think we could do it. Canada has free health care. They have strict gun laws to where you won't have a lot of school shootings and stuff like that. I think a lot of the people are nice too.
Yeah.
California might have to try that one day.
I actually have a Canadian friend.
You do?
Yes.
That's awesome. Are they cool?
Yeah.
Well, shout out to your Canadian friend. But yeah, it was so crazy to me is just how amazing people really are. Like humans helping humans, cultures helping cultures. But then what's just even like the craziest thing is like people that don't like people because of their skin color or because of the lack of money. But it's like, why? You know?
Yeah.
It's very sad to me, and it's very close minded too. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I shout out to Mexico, shout out to Canada, shout out to all of the people and places and firefighters. Shout out to the firefighters. My God, when I tell you, you know how hot that. Hey, those fires are hot, Ethan, and those firefighters are so brave. Like to just go up against the fires. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But you know what I thought was really cool? I think maybe we could look at are the planes and the
Oh yeah.
helicopters. Let's try to.
Because the planes like they
Yes.
brought planes with like millions of gallons so they could like
Yes.
just put it
But do you know how
and
much precision that you have to have for
a lot.
like a lot?
And actually one of the fires turned off because of that.
Yeah, and when I tell you, I seen one video, and it was literally like like the perfect line. Like it was crazy. Let me see. Yeah, and I was like, oh wow. Okay, so maybe, hmm, maybe this. Should we do this one? Let me see if this one might do it. Uh, maybe not. Okay, let's try this one. You know, when I tell you that these planes, oh no, this one. Okay, wait. Let me share our screen. Hold on. Let me actually read the disclaimer first before we get started. Um, so the disclaimer. Okay, copyright disclaimer. Under Section 107 of the Copyright Act 1976, allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comments, news reporting, teaching, and research. All right, we're not trying to steal nobody footage. Do you need something?
Miss Shawn said she needs the snack wrap.
I already sent it with Kylie already.
Kylie there.
I know, but Kylie gave it to her.
No.
Okay, well, I don't have it right now. I'm doing a podcast, so when we're done, okay? Yes, we're live, bro. Anywho, didn't oh you wasn't there when I sent it. I'll definitely be. Okay, here we go. Boom. Share screen. Super Scooper. Should we view it on this thing? Okay.
These pilots are flying what's called a Super Scooper at around $30 million. It's one of the most expensive aerial firefighting aircraft ever made.
It's literally a boat with giant wings, and it's built like a tank. It looks like no other plane in the world.
The CL-415 enhanced aerial fire.
I seen one of those
and drop 1,400 gallons of water on wildfires in a matter of minutes. Compare that to this 1970s plane, which could only drop 200 gallons of water at a time.
$30 million is very expensive for any air. However, it's actually the most cost-effective aerial firefighting asset.
Super Scoopers revolutionized aerial firefighting.
Wow.
And the Insider got an up-close look with Bridger Aerospace
That is so scary
to see how this aircraft is tailor-made to fight fires. Airplanes have been used to fight wildfires for almost 100 years, but early attempts weren't nearly as effective.
In the 50s and 60s, almost all the aircraft used to fight fires were retired or salvaged World War II aircraft. Tanks were strapped in the middle, and they were used in a very haphazard, provisional manner.
Some of these makeshift firefighting planes were only able to drop 150 to 200 gallons of water at a time.
Not really effective in today's world, but at the time it's the best they could do.
Canadair was contracted to design a plane specifically
It's crazy
fight
how
fires.
they
So they designed, grandfather this
Yes.
airplane
Because
CL-215
if you
looked very
just
similar.
then like
which
Waste
Viking Air
the
Limited
water.
modernized in 2020, retrofitting the CL-215 with a new avionics system, turbine engines,
would-
and more.
So
It was taken down to its bones and
like
created in such a
guys
way
are
they were
flying super high and they come in
Weighing in at
raging
30,000
lows
pounds,
in the
the
ocean water.
CL-415 EAF is 30 feet tall and has a 93-foot wingspan, just 24 feet shy of a Boeing 737's wingspan.
That's a big
when you're close
wing.
to it, you really appreciate just the massive size of it.
But despite its size, the aircraft was engineered to fly like a much smaller plane.
When you look at them, they don't necessarily look like they'd be an aerobatic or stunt plane.
It still kind of looks
Taking a plane almost the size of a C-130,
Yeah.
flying in extremely narrow canyons, very low altitude, banking
Mm-mm.
high G turns, high rate of turn. Flying an aircraft this big, that low, and that dangerous of an environment is very rare.
Right, like
The Scooper is so nimble because of its flight control surfaces, or aerodynamic devices that pilots use to adjust and control the aircraft. On any plane, the main control surfaces are the ailerons, which control the plane's roll, the rudder, which controls yaw or the aircraft's direction, and elevators, which control the aircraft's pitch. And in the case of the Super Scooper, those flight control surfaces are supersized.
That's important because when you're flying slow and big, you need to have a lot of aileron area, a lot of elevator area to be able to move that aircraft as quickly as you need to at those low speeds.
That's why this rudder is 25 square feet larger than that of a Boeing 737-900, even though the Super Scooper is 10 feet shorter and half as long. This is crucial for the Scooper. It needs to slow down to 90 knots, or just over 100 miles per hour, to perform a scoop.
So
That's
it's
almost
still
half
kind of
the
going pretty fast.
aircraft's standard cruising speed.
Once you've identified your scoop site, you're coming in, you go through your pre-pickup
That's
checklist.
scary.
One of those items is probes down.
Probes are down.
The way the aircraft picks up water is it does not stop or suck it up. There's no vacuum. It scoops it and scoops it through what you see here. 2 probes
That's
on
it.
either side of the keel of the aircraft. But the size of
You
your hands
would
put
think
together
it
and
would
the
be
sea
bigger.
yeah.
water to catch. You can feel it in contact. You gotta be ready for that.
14,000.
Catch with the yoke right there.
Wait,
You're ready to
wait,
house.
wait, what?
And the water begins filling almost immediately.
It takes the Scooper 12 seconds to fill its tanks with 1,400
Wow.
gallons of water,
That's
during
pretty
which time the
fast.
pilot has to maintain the plane's speed and direction.
Once the aircraft is full, the tank is
I'm
full, you
scared.
retract the probes. There is a noticeable surge in the aircraft when those probes go up. Get the aircraft back up to speed and then take off.
Now
Ooh,
11,000 pounds heavier, the aircraft
It's harder.
relies on its design to ascend from the surface.
If you look at the wing, you can see it has a very large curvature to it. That's called
Yeah.
camber, which creates an enormous amount of lift.
But aerodynamics aren't the only factor involved. The plane is outfitted with turboprop engines that generate more than enough power to lift it off the surface.
They make 2,380 shaft horsepower each side.
These things are extremely durable. You never want to hit anything with them, of course. But if it's ash or debris being pushed up to the thermals of the fire, these engines are going to chew right through that and keep running.
All that enables the Scooper to ascend back up to its previous altitude in roughly 3 minutes.
Super 282
Oh,
is
that's
loaded to the
you
drop.
gotta be
So when we're lining
precise.
For a drop,
There's
the air attack will get us on target.
No room for air there.
They're in contact with the folks on the ground who are requesting the water. We're factoring in the terrain, the wind, our altitude for when we need to press the button to make the drop.
When the pilot is ready to drop the load, they'll press the water drop button,
And 3, 2, 1, drop.
That is so
opening the
tight.
drop doors on the keel and releasing 1,400 gallons of water.
Goes away. Why are you not investing? in
Really?
assets? No, seriously. Why are you not investing into one of the most
That is so cool.
It only takes 2 seconds for the aircraft to drop its entire load, a very short window for the pilot to work with.
There is no targeting computer. It's all by feel and by experience.
But the Super Scooper's high lift wing and turboprop engines allow it to attack forest fires from a lower altitude and speed than other firefighting
That
aircraft.
just seems like it's
While planes like the 747 Supertanker and DC-10 make drops from between 200 and 800 feet, the Super Scooper can do so from as low as 100 feet above a fire.
When you're fighting fire at low altitude, flying through mountains and smoke and trees, having the ability to quickly adjust to terrain variations, other aircraft
Is
in the area, pull out
intense.
skill set emergency. The smoke is very important.
After performing the drop, the scooper can simply head back to the water source to pick up another load, rather than refilling on the ground.
So from drop to drop, it really depends on how close our water source is. But I've been on fires where we're dropping a load of water every 6 minutes.
The aircraft can go up to 6 hours between refuels, depending on conditions, meaning it can fight fires longer than other aircraft that need to refuel every 2 hours.
Although the sticker price on the aircraft is very expensive, they can deliver 150,000 gallons in one
$30
service
million, you better
day
be
compared to a more traditional tanker.
faster,
That can
better, stronger than
oftentimes
all the
only
other
do a small fraction of that. It's actually the most cost-effective aerial firefighting asset.
And with a paint job like
So
that, it can be hard to miss.
It's a very flashy paint job on these aircraft, and it's one of the questions we're asked quite often is why is it painted the way it is? The goal is to be visible in a super dense smoke. It's a very action-packed circuit when these guys are fighting the fires, and safety is the ultimate goal.
For aerial firefighters, the next game-changing innovations aren't going to come to the planes themselves.
The next ridge line for aerial firefighting is going to be data. It's going to be understanding what the fire is doing, where it's going, where it came from, and being able to share that data with as wide a population as possible. That can better inform our aerial response, better inform the ground response, and make sure that those citizens affected by the incident are given the best information possible to protect themselves, their families, and their livelihood.
In the meantime, aerial firefighting aircraft like the Super Scooper are tasked with keeping forest fires in check.
Flying this aircraft in the environment we fly it in, it's very exciting, very dangerous, but it's also very fun.
wow, 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 wow. I feel like we learned something there, right? That was pretty cool.
Oh, that's really cool.
I feel like you have to be like fearless. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I mean, you could be a little bit scared, but you can't be too scared. You know what I mean? That's like, it was like right on the fire, right on the water too. Wow, I have a new respect for them though. But see, the thing is like once I started to see the people in the helicopters and stuff, I had already a whole new respect for just the fire department in general. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because it's just like, how, first of all, you have to be a pilot. Second of all, not only do you have to be a pilot, but you have to be a specific pilot that fights wildfires, that knows how low or how high you can go or need to go for the planes. Like, dude, super crazy. But $30 million is a lot of money.
That is a lot of money.
That's a lot of money. But like he was saying, like you basically get what you pay for. Like, it's one of the most cost-effective and efficient aircrafts out there. So like, I'm not mad at the price. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but it's a lot of money
That is a lot of
for the airplane itself. But also, I recently was seeing on my like Alexa the screen that just to rebuild all the buildings is almost gonna cost about $150 billion.
Yeah. I mean, those were $1 million mansions.
Yeah.
And
they got to like Hollywood Hills.
Yeah, Ventura yesterday, I think. It's just so shocking how many people's houses really did burn up. Like, and then you know what's even crazier is the people's houses that didn't burn up. But like, I seen this one guy's, it was his house in the middle, and on the side of him, and the back of him, everybody's house burned down except for his. It was really crazy. I was like, wow. But I feel so bad for for everybody. But I know one of the parts in Altadena, not really past Palisades, but in Altadena, that was a very special part in like Black culture in African American culture, because that was one of the first like middle class, upper class areas that a lot of Black people moved into. But at the same time, because of racism, people tried to prevent them from moving over there. And so some of those houses have been in their family generations and generations, you know?
I have friends with parents whose childhood neighborhoods have burned down. Also, my aunties and my mother's um, childhood, like where they grew up, the schools like could have
Yeah.
got burned down.
The
But
kids got to go to new schools.
yeah,
Like, I couldn't imagine starting a new school and then, like, you're known for your house burning down. You know what I mean? Like, oh, it's a new kid. You know, it's got to be tough. Let's, you know, we send our prayers to even the kids out there who have to start all over too. You know, sometimes we don't think about like the kids. You know,
Yeah.
sometimes we think about just the adults and what they're gonna do, but it's like, no, my heart goes out to those kids whose friends' houses burned down, their schools, their playgrounds, their parks. You know, it's
yeah.
very sad. So we send our love, our prayers, our thoughts, our energy, our positive energy out there to all the kids that are affected by this fire too. We hope you guys just stay strong and, you know, lean on your community. That's all we can do at this point, you know.
Yep.
But it is 5:30. We've been on for 30 minutes. I know we have to like clean everything back up. But is there any last or final thoughts you had, Ethan, that you want to cover?
Well, I don't really have any more final thoughts. To everyone, like starting brand new because of the unfortunate fire that happened. Well, it's just crazy how like, what if like your family lives in a different country or something, you don't have nobody to turn to.
Yeah.
Like fortunately for me, like most of my family lives in like in the state, so I know like I have someone to turn my back to. So
And then I'm thinking like, did you see where all of the people's cars was in the middle of the street and they had to have a bulldozer to get through them because the people just ran. They got up their cars and ran. Like that panic is real, you know?
yeah.
So we're definitely going to keep everybody in our prayers, our thoughts. Hopefully we will be on some other topics this week. I know we are going to be streaming on what, Thursday you said?
Yeah, probably we're gonna be streaming about football and maybe some basketball as well.
Yeah, so we're going to keep you guys updated and in the loop with current events as well as major, it's really sports, KSPN. We would be remiss if we didn't talk about these updates. But thank you all for tuning in. Like, share, subscribe.
Alright. And Happy New Year's to everybody.
Thumbs up the video. If you guys have any interesting topics you want us to talk about, email me at missdteachers@gmail.com. Thank you for tuning in. Happy New Year. Yeah, we will see you guys next time.